the lantern of whispering shadows. Welcome to our channel. Today, we bring you a mysterious and thrilling story that will take you on an unforgettable adventure. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. It was the year 1813, deep in the rugged mountains of America, where the peaks pierced the sky and the valleys whispered tales of long-forgotten travelers. Small villages clung to the slopes, their wooden homes weathered by time and wind, while dense forests stretched endlessly beyond, mysterious and untamed. The air was thick with the scent of pine and cold stone, and every evening, as the sun dipped behind the towering peaks, shadows seemed to stretch and dance across the hills like living spirits. In one such village, nestled in a quiet valley surrounded by misty ridges, lived a young man named Elias. The elders spoke of the forest beyond the mountains with reverence and fear, telling stories of shadows that moved of their own accord and whispered secrets to those daring enough to wander too far. Though the villagers warned him, Elias's heart was restless, drawn to the unknown and the promises hidden within the wild, untamed wilderness. Elias had always been curious, and every evening, he would wander near the forest edge, staring at the dense trees with wonder. The branches twisted like ancient fingers, and the low fog rolled over the undergrowth like a restless sea. He could almost hear the forest breathing, as though it were alive, watching, waiting, whispering his name. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills and painted the sky in shades of violet and rose, Elias noticed a faint glimmer of light weaving through the trees. It was delicate and almost imperceptible, flickering like a firefly or a distant star. The moment he saw it, a shiver of anticipation ran down his spine. His heart thrummed with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. Slowly, deliberately, he picked up his small lantern and stepped into the forest, the cool, fragrant air enveloping him like a velvet cloak. The ground beneath his feet was soft with fallen leaves, releasing a subtle earthy scent with each careful step. The shadows of the trees stretched and shifted, forming shapes that seemed almost human, yet impossibly fluid. Every sound, the distant call of an owl, the rustle of leaves, the whisper of the wind, seemed amplified, as if the forest was speaking directly to him. His mind raced, imagining what secrets lay ahead, what wonders or dangers awaited him beyond the path illuminated by the flickering light. The forest seemed to grow more alive with every step Elias took. The wind whispered softly through the towering pines, carrying the scent of damp earth and wildflowers, while distant bird calls echoed like delicate music. The fog drifted between the trees in gentle, curling tendrils, and each rustle of leaves made him pause, imagining the secrets they might hide. Shadows shifted gracefully across the mossy ground, yet instead of fear, they now inspired a strange sense of wonder. As he followed the faint glow deeper into the woods, Elias came across a small, hidden stream. Its waters sparkled in the lantern's light, revealing smooth stones that seemed almost polished by time itself. He knelt and dipped his hands into the cool water, feeling the refreshing chill spread through his arms. The simple act grounded him, reminding him of the beauty hidden in the quietest corners of the world. A sudden movement caught his eye, a cluster of flowers with petals that glimmered like silver in the moonlight. They seemed to sway as if acknowledging his presence, and Elias crouched to examine them. Their subtle luminescence bathed his hands in a soft glow, and for a moment, he felt as though the forest itself was speaking directly to him. Continuing along the winding path, Elias noticed faint footprints in the soft soil, too small to be human, too deliberate to be the wind's work. He followed them curiously, his heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. Each step seemed to carry him further into a world where time flowed differently, where the ordinary rules of the village no longer applied. As he moved deeper, he noticed strange symbols carved into the bark of the trees. Lines and curves that seemed to shimmer faintly as he gazed upon them, forming patterns that his mind could not fully comprehend. He reached out a hand, brushing against one of the carvings. A warmth spread through his fingers, and he felt a strange, electric thrill, as though the forest itself acknowledged his presence. The flickering light guided him over winding roots and through thickets, leading him to a hidden glade where the air was thick with the scent of wildflowers and damp moss. There, an ancient lantern hung from a gnarled branch, glowing softly with a warm golden hue that seemed to pulse in time with his heartbeat. A voice, gentle yet commanding, whispered through the clearing, "Only the brave may uncover the truth." Elias swallowed hard, his pulse quickening. Taking a deep breath, he lifted the lantern, and as he did, the forest seemed to awaken around him. Shadows shifted gracefully, not menacing, but as if inviting him forward. Tiny streams sparkled like molten silver under the dappled light, and flowers with petals that glimmered faintly in the gloom swayed as though in greeting. Each step felt like a test of courage. A narrow log stretched over a shadowed ravine, a sudden gust of wind threatened to knock him off balance, and a dark shape loomed ahead, watching. Yet, Elias pressed on, steadying his nerves and remembering the curiosity that had brought him here. Hours passed, though it was impossible to measure time in this enchanted place. At one point, he found himself in a grove where the fog thickened, curling around him like living tendrils. Glimmering lights hovered in the air, some soft and inviting, others darting nervously away. A creature emerged from the shadows, a fox with eyes like molten gold. It spoke in a voice that seemed both ancient and gentle. "You seek the heart of the forest. Will you face your fears?" Elias nodded. "I must," he whispered, and with that, the fox disappeared, leaving a trail of sparkling dust that lingered in the air. He continued along a winding path, each turn revealing new wonders, mushrooms that glowed like tiny lanterns, a silvered stream that reflected the moonlight like liquid glass, and stones etched with runes that pulsed faintly under his touch. Sometimes, he paused, overwhelmed by the beauty and strangeness around him. He reflected on his life in the village, on friends and family, on the quiet streets and familiar sounds, and realized that this journey, though frightening, was a test of his courage and heart. Shadows sometimes whispered doubts, tempting him to turn back, reminding him of past fears, but he pushed forward, drawing strength from the memory of laughter, trust, and love. Deeper into the forest, the path became more intricate. A gentle breeze carried whispers, some almost forming words. He thought he could hear advice, warnings, encouragement, all mingling together in a soft, constant murmur. At one point, he crossed a fallen log over a bubbling stream, carefully balancing, feeling the water rush below. The wind brought a chill that made him shiver, but he pressed onward, focused and mindful of every step. Finally, he reached a grove bathed in moonlight, where the shadows of previous travelers danced gently across the ground. Each shadow seemed alive, some pointing toward a crystal-clear pond at the center. Elias approached slowly, and as he gazed into the water, he saw visions of his village, filled with light, laughter, and peace. Tears welled in his eyes as he realized the forest's blessing was now within his grasp. The lantern glowed brighter, and a warmth spread through him, filling every corner of his being. A final voice spoke softly, yet with undeniable authority. The golden-eyed fox reappeared. "Remember, Braveheart, even in darkness, light can be found." Elias nodded, understanding that his journey had changed him, that courage and kindness could illuminate even the shadowiest paths. He walked back toward the village, the forest around him serene, almost reverent. Stars shone brighter than ever above, and the gentle rustle of leaves whispered a song of peace. Villagers noticed the warmth in the night air, and a subtle glow seemed to emanate from his home. Elias placed the lantern carefully, a constant reminder that bravery, curiosity, and a kind heart could transform darkness into light. From that night onward, Whenever flickering lights appeared in the distant forest, the villagers smiled, knowing the secrets of the woods were safe and that a brave heart would always find its way. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more thrilling adventures.